Hey y'all, this is Chanel Fortney, and this is the Nerd in Texas podcast, the show about movies, books, TV shows, the occasional comedy, and anything you might consider nerdy. So if you like to literally Netflix and chill, stay tuned with me. Hey y'all, so this is me, and I have my fancy new mic. It sounds so much better than my little Xbox headset that I was using. I'm sorry if I'm sounding sniffly or anything like that. It's just that I'm in Texas. This is the Nerd in Texas podcast, and it's like allergy season up the wazoo right now. So I'm just feeling a little nosy, I guess. But with that being said, this is the Nerd in Texas podcast. My name is Chanel, where I talk about anything from books to movies to Netflix to Fortnite to video game. Well, Fortnite is a video game. And I want to get to know y'all. So I have my chat open. Talk to me. Send questions. Let me know you are here. I am also on YouTube, so if you are watching this on YouTube or catching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. I know it's just like my basic podcast picture and it's not an actual video, but I'm trying to muster up the courage to actually be in a video, to make a video of my podcast. Right now I'm comfortable with podcasting because I'm not in video. Being in video would really forced me to come out of my comfort zone. So once I get that taken care of, I don't know. I'm going to try it. We'll see. One of these days. I'm still working on it. Sorry, I have hiccups. Why does this happen every time I get on the podcast? I start to get hiccups. I don't know. Maybe it's a nerve thing. I don't know. Or maybe it's because I'm eating a bag of sour gummy worms right here that might have set it off. I don't know. So, I was going to take this time and use my new mic to talk about the new episode of WandaVision that just came out. It's episode 4. But, I decided I'm going to wait a week because it just came out today. I'm going to give people a chance to watch it, sit on it. I won't be giving away anything that happens. I know how people are about spoilers, especially with the Marvel fandom, especially with the Star Wars fandom. They do not like spoilers at all. So, with that being said, this is going to be my podcast update / pretty much just a not podcast update podcast. So with that said, I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for getting at me and giving me suggestions and hey, why haven't you talked about this yet? And because there's a lot of things that I haven't talked about that I've been waiting for this new mic to talk to about it, just because I didn't want it to sound funky in an Xbox headset, It's an awesome topic, and you don't want crappy sound for awesome topics. But I'm majorly happy with this mic that I have. I finally have a better setup. I have a better range of motion because when I talk, I kind of talk with my hands a lot, and yeah, headsets you're on your head, but you're also wired to. And it's hard to explain. I just like this freedom. Okay, so. Upcoming podcasts. Actually, I want to talk about a few things before I talk about the new upcoming podcasts. Someone suggested to me that once I start getting more into about video games and Fortnite and stuff like that, to create a Twitch account and possibly stream on Twitch. So I was working on that today. Y'all have no idea how many tabs I've had open all day long on my computer researching Twitch and just all these different platforms and all these different things that I need to do in order to do something like that. right now I only play on an Xbox in my bedroom. I don't really have the setup to have like a TV and everything above my computer and everything connected to my computer, which, I don't know, I could probably move my bedroom around to something like that. Now I'm looking around my bedroom, figuring out how I could do that. But, I mean, it's something that's definitely probably going to be something for the future. I was trying to download Fortnite on my computer, and it just completely slowed down my computer, so I couldn't podcast and install it at the same time. So I'm going to knock out this podcast and then start downloading it on my computer. So hopefully we'll get that up and running in the next couple of days. So with the other things that I need to be talking about, because I only know the, like, talking to you and talking about topics and posting and social media and all that stuff. I don't know anything about sponsorships and getting sponsored, and like right now I'm on the free platform, so you hear ads every now and then. So for those of you who stick around and listen to the ads, I appreciate you. So someone suggested to me so I could kind of move around what I don't even know how I could explain it. Anyways, they suggested me to set up a Patreon account or platform for me to start accepting donations. I feel weird asking people for donations. I don't know why. So I've decided that I set up the donations anyways, and it's like $3, you get a Nerd in Texas sticker. Or they also have tier options where I made it to where it's like the least expensive tiers, I guess. Like, of course, they suggested to me do like ask your listeners to pay $30 a month and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I mean, the cheapest I could go with it was $25 a month. If you guys do that for me, that's freaking awesome. If you don't, that's cool too. Honestly, $3 a sticker sounds good to me. But I also have it to where, like, you can get a mug, you can get a tote bag, you can get a t-shirt. I think. I don't know how that goes. I'm gonna have to look at it. I think the tier thing is where you subscribe, and it's like every 3 months they send you my merch. I feel so weird saying that because I don't feel YouTube famous enough to have merch. And I'm doing air quotes as I say merch. Because, I don't know, it's just so crazy. It's today with my podcast, and I'm telling you, my messages have like blown up today with so many people giving me suggestions. And it's like, I chose today. I didn't do a podcast yesterday because I was waiting to get my mic in the mail today. And so I got it today. And in between that time, I've had a bunch of friends message me. Sorry, I didn't mean to smack in your ear. A bunch of friends message me. Shout out to Michelle. Oh, that's another thing. If you pay like $3, I can give you a shout out on my podcast, on my Twitch, whatever you choose. Some things are like, I can have one-on-one contact with you, which I thought that was pretty cool. But if you're already my friend, like, wouldn't we already be talking? But I guess that's for listeners who don't know me on a personal level. I mean, either way, if you find me on the Nerd in Texas podcast page or your Instagram, I'll talk to you. I'm not, like, super famous yet. Like, I'm not, like, whoa, I can't go out in public famous yet. So I feel like I can't do that. And it's just so crazy to me. I mean, I've been looking at the statistics on my podcast, and it's pretty good, but it's not like I need merch good, you know? And it is kind of expensive keeping a podcast up, and especially if you want it to become successful. So that's why a friend of mine suggested me, like, girl, do the whole patron donations. Speaking of donations, Michelle, my girl, she was like, I love your cast pod. So I'm going to start calling it a cast pod from now on. So if you could send me a donation, that's awesome. I've had people say that they've, like, do an opening video and ask me for an address. I'm not going to give you my personal address, but I'll give you a P.O. box if that's something that you're wanting to do. I'll put all the information up on all my social medias so you guys can check that out. With the whole, like, donations thing, I decided if I were to start taking donations, a lot of it will be going to pay for my podcast, but a lot of it is going to go to charities. Like, you guys do start donating to me. I want to later on start talking more about Star Wars. Because 1, I was waiting for my mic. 2, Disney Plus is coming out with so many amazing things that I'm sorry about that. They're coming out with so many amazing shows and stuff that I'm going to talk about that later. With, like, Mandalorian, season 2 of Mandalorian was awesome. I know they're coming out with an Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Boba Fett, Ahsoka. Like, there's just, I can't think today. Maybe it's just right now. I don't know. Anywho, so there's those things that I want to talk about, and I decided that if I start taking donations, I'll have, like, Star Wars month where I talk about Star Wars, and I donate that money to something, like, a good cause. Like, I know 51st Legion, I don't know if any of y'all know what that is, but it's where people who cosplay as Star Wars characters, they register with 51st Legion, and if you're having an event, you get on their website, which I'll leave a link for that website if you guys ever want to check it out. And you find these people who dress up as these Star Wars characters in your area. You pay them to come to your event, which we tried to do this at Weirdos one time. But we didn't give them enough time frame. And the money that they make at the event, they turn it around and donate it to a charity for children. Usually it's children. One of my favorite charities it's called BACA, and it's Bikers Against Child Abuse, and it's where it's a biker gang. So big scary biker gang guys show up at a child abuse or anything where a child might have to go to court and feel scared. They will stand there next to them. They will be there with them the whole time, so nobody will mess with them, which I think is awesome. It's really cool. I wish I have that when I have to go to court for certain things. Like, I just want a biker dude to stand there and kind of be my bodyguard there. So I am an adult. I understand how that feels, and I have to go to court. And I'm scared because of a certain person that I have to go to court against is never happy when I have to take him to court. So I just want to do stuff like that. So for the month of February, I'm going to start doing podcasts about Star Wars, Disney Plus, new things coming out with them. Next week, I'm going to talk about WandaVision. I'm trying to get Fortnite on my computer so I can Twitch and stream playing Fortnite. They want you to have, like, a set schedule when you, like, get on and stream, and that's going to be a little tough for me. But we'll see what happens as I'm eating a sour gummy worm. I have the worst, like, nutrition ever. Like, I just got done drinking a Red Bull, and now I'm eating sour gummy worms. Except I really needed that Red Bull. I was so tired and I had this headache and I just felt like no matter what I did, I was just going to fall asleep. So, thank you, 8 ounces of Red Bull. You gave me wings. And that's how this podcast started. So, I'm totally eating it in the microphone. I'm so sorry. I will never do that again. I'm so sorry. My 13-year-old daughter does nothing but eat and chew loud, and it drives me crazy. Like, I hate a loud chewer. So the fact that I'm like smacking in the microphone, that means I'm like smacking in your ear. So I'm trying really hard not to do that. So please check everything out that I just set up. It took me all day for this whole Twitch Patreon. As soon as I'm done with this podcast, I'm going to install Fortnite. I know I'm repeating myself at this moment in this podcast. This episode probably sucks. So I'm going to end it on a funny note. I live in Texas, and right now we have this whole thing blowing up all over social media. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Comedians are making videos about it. There are now memes about it, which is insane. Because it's literally from a small town in Texas. And it's Jason Collier. I think I'm saying his name right. It's one of those moments where I thank God that I'm single. Like, I am a single mom, 2 girls. And when I say single mom, it's like just me all the time. I have them every single weekend, 24/7. So that's hard. But this is what makes me happy to be single. First, his girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, posted on Facebook that she found out he's already married with kids. She's dating him or has been dating him. I'm not sure the timeline of how long she was dating him for or for what amount of time. I know it's a short amount of time because everybody's like, how do you get engaged that fast? This isn't Bridgerton. And, so he's already married. He's already engaged to this one woman. And then she finds out that he's engaged to a mutual friend of hers. And he's also dating some girl like 3 towns over. And there was so many other girlfriends that this guy was dating that it was, like, hard to keep up. We had, like, counters. I gave up after, like, 6, I think. And so there's all these Facebook pages that are dedicated to, like, figuring all of this out. There are Facebook groups that are dedicated to memes about this guy. And it's just so funny, so crazy. And of course everybody's like, how does he have time for these girls? How do these girls not know he's dating 50 million other people? When you love a guy and he buys you a coffee maker, because apparently he bought every girl a coffee maker when they got engaged, you don't ask questions. Like, I need a Keurig, like, for real. I wouldn't ask questions either. But he just, like, oh man, telling one girl that he works for the FBI, telling the other girl he's stationed in Iraq, and just all kinds of lies. He faked divorce papers. So last time I checked, he got arrested and fired from his job because he was a police chief for this town, for this tiny town. Blows my mind. And the dude had a Facebook. How are you going to have 5 different girlfriends and engaged and married, have kids with, I don't know if he had kids with all of them, none of them, one of them. I know there's some kids that are involved. What? Then there were some girls who were jumping on board like, yeah, I dated him too. And then they ended up finding out that they're lying. Like, girl, get your attention somewhere else. We're trying to get to the bottom of this, okay? No one cares. But he had a Facebook page, and his job, like, would post things for when he got promoted in the force, and is it considered the force? No, I'm having, like, such a blonde moment. Anyways, so when he'd get promoted, they tagged him, and it was, like, him and his wife, this and that. Well, then he had them change it. They had him take out the wife part, the married part. So he even went so far as to, like, having his job change posts. Well, don't have a Facebook, dude. Don't have them tag you or whatever. Just blows my mind how dumb this guy is. And how crazy this drama is. I mean, we have Florida, right? You always have your man in Florida stories, okay? When it happens in Texas, every single Texan just kind of shakes their head and is like, you're making us look bad, bro. Like, we are proud Texans, and when you have idiots like that make us look bad, we're just like, oh, God. Give me, like, face palm type deal, and just, how do you do this? We're home of the Whataburger and kolaches, and you're screwing it all up, dude. You make Texans look bad. But anyways, that's the news with my podcast. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening and everyone who's giving me suggestions and giving me the feedback. Like, I love it. I really do. So if you could keep giving me feedback, check out the Patreon page. If you want to make a donation, that's awesome. If not, like I said, I'm not gonna bug you. It's just me trying to get my way around, like, having to, I kind of don't want to say it on the podcast because I don't want to get in trouble. But apparently, like, a lot of podcasters do it, so maybe I'm not doing anything to get me in trouble. But it's just, like, my way of getting around you guys having to listen to an ad every 2 minutes. But, I mean, if this Patreon thing works, cool. If not, I'll see what I can do to get sponsors, and that would be pretty cool, too. So, this is me signing off. Y'all have a great night, a great weekend. It's Friday night. Be good to everybody. Times are crazy with COVID. And, I mean, I'm in quarantine, so it's kind of one of the reasons why this podcast got started. So, have a great weekend. Bye.